Celebrations and fear, and how corrective rape, that dreadful term, is used to flush out and destroy LGBTQ communities. Just this weekend, thousands gathered for the 29th annual Johannesburg Pride in Melrose Arch. This is a flagship event for the LGBT community where they come together, show support and celebrate the rights of the gay community in a safe, non-judgmental space. While Saturday gave thousands a chance to celebrate, many communities still face discrimination and brutal sexual violence from those seeking to correct their identities. The SAPS 2017-2018 financial statistics show that over 50,000 sexual offences were committed in South Africa. According to Pan-Africa ILGA, a staggering 4 out of 10 LGBT South Africans know of someone who's been murdered for being or suspected of being lesbian, gay, bisexual or transgender. Is enough being done by authorities to protect and deal with what's called corrective rape? Joining me now to unpack this is the other foundations, Virginia Magwaza, and the Sexual Offence Unit's Lieutenant Colonel Ntambo. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
What's going on here? Why is it so bad? Why are they being attacked?
Okay, firstly, Jane,
Yes.
I would like us not to use the term corrective rape.
No, I wanted to discuss that with you. It's really offensive, isn't it?
It is, because it sounds like we are being corrected on something. We know there's nothing wrong with us.
No.
This is our sexual orientation or gender identity. And rape is rape. It is a form of violence and hate that is directed to people who are perceived or are different, you know, because of their sexual orientation, gender identity, or expression. And yes, South Africa in general, there is a huge problem about rape. Rape, or whether you're a lesbian woman or you're just a heterosexual woman or trans woman.
But is it worse for lesbians?
It is worse because it does not only, usually in most cases, it's not only just rape. It's rape and brutal killing. Because the people that rape you will make sure that they kill you in a very brutal way. And it has been, like high numbers of women who have been raped because they are lesbians or bisexual or trans women. And it is very worrying because South Africa has a very wonderful legislative framework. We have the Constitution, we have all the laws that have been changed towards what sexual orientation why sexual orientation is one of the grounds that people are not supposed to be discriminated.
Okay, so let me put that to you. So we've got this great Constitution. It's clearly not working when it comes to this horrific crime that we're seeing, and with great brutality. What sort of numbers are you looking at? Because it's very hard for us to find statistics. Why is that?
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Actually, rape is rape. As my colleague has said, that is rape. And the issue of saying there is corrective rape, according to the legislation or the law that we are using when we define crimes, there is no law that says corrective rape.
No.
Rape is a rape. I will just make an example of a compelled rape. It is only now came into operation with the new Sexual Offences Act that if you compel somebody else to rape someone, then it can be specifically be identified as a compelled rape. But now, at this time and point, we don't have anything that is saying corrective rape. Coming to the issue of saying these people, maybe these communities are not taken care of, rape is rape. And everyone who is coming to the police station to report rape case, she or he will be treated as a rape victim. Not maybe because you are a lesbian or you are a gay or you are whatever
However,
is that what ladies...
As much as I
hear a lot of stories of women who report rape.
As much as rape is rape, there is also homophobia and transphobia within the police stations. There is what we call secondary victimizations, where you are being victimized by the people that are supposed to be upholding the law and protecting you. They'll be making funny comments about whether, if you are a butch lesbian that looks more masculine, they'll be making comments about, what do you mean you are raped because you don't look like a woman, right? And not only in police stations, even in health facilities, where even the nurses, the professional nurses will be saying things like, why do you need an HIV test because you don't do sex in a normal way. And who defines normal?
Just horrific.
You know?
As you said, like
Yes.
double torture.
And we see the very sad situation of police officers who are dragging their feet when they have to deal with issues of investigating, especially when it is issues that are concerning LGBTIQ members.
Okay, so
Because they
clearly
have
this
their
is a
own
problem
perception.
exacerbated often by police work. How are you going to change that? Surely the message needs to be put out there.
The cases are investigated equally. Then but there is, like for instance, my colleague is saying that at the police station they are being humiliated again. Like for instance, why do you want this and that? This is not supposed to happen and it must be condoned. But without being the management of the SEPS knows that this is happening at the police station, we wouldn't really know. Yes, we are hearing there are those things, but especially now we are trying to train them to understand that, look, there is this community that is now emerging. So that even if they come there, because if I just come, like if I can come to the police station like you as myself, will you identify me as a lesbian or a gay? I don't know, because there is no way. I have to address you as I see, unless or otherwise.
But I mean, sadly, that is not happening. So there really needs to be a lot more education out there. Yes. You know, corrective rape obviously is a term that, you know, from now on, let's banish it. I mean,
it was actually popularized by media, and it's very problematic. Yes, yeah, and I think as the lieutenant is saying, they are training, you know, their members. I think we need to do that very, very, very urgently, and also train the most ones who are on the front line, because those who are on the front line are the ones who are dealing with these issues on daily basis.
Why do you think there's so much hatred in these circumstances towards people who are perceived to be different? I mean, what is it, a fear factor? What is it?
It's a combination of things, Jane. I mean, as I said earlier on, South Africa has wonderful laws, but the attitudes and perceptions of people are horrific, right? Because people have these things they have their own cultural beliefs, they have their religious beliefs, and because the Bible has always demonized, you know, LGBTIQ plus people, so people go into even their workplaces with those perceptions, and those perceptions, you know, clock their opportunity to understand that they are at work and they need to uphold the law, and they need to be neutral and perform their duties. So we see a huge setback when it comes to how people operate and how people relate when it comes to LGBTI issues.
Okay, so
as I've stated, that each and every person who is coming to report a crime to the police station, she needs to be treated with dignity, with empathy, and be assisted in a way that she needs to be, or he needs to be assisted. Yes, as my colleague is saying, these things are happening. Yes, you are hearing those things, but if they are not coming to the forefront, to the management of the SEPS to address, yes, there are trainings that have been put in place in order to know that if you come across such a person, how you have to deal with that particular person. We are still training them.
It is easier said than done, eh? Because the practical experience is very difficult.
Yes, a lot needs to change.
Yes.
Virginia, Lieutenant Colonel, thank you.
Yes, pleasure.
Those are the other foundations, Virginia Magwaza and the SAPS Child Protection and Sexual Offences Unit Lieutenant Colonel Ntambo. That's our show for tonight. News is next. I'll see you then.